I'm from New York City, so I'm not used to that. Assalamu alaikum, North Carolina. Okay, that's better. So, again, my name is Linda Sarsour, and I'm very honored to be here in North Carolina, home to a very beautiful Muslim community, but also home to many of my family members, including my sister and her family. So it's a very special place for me, so I'm very happy to be here. So before I start, I like to tell people a few things about me because it helps you to understand where I come from. It helps you kind of understand my presence. So number one, I am unapologetically Palestinian. No apologizing there. I am so proud of the blood that runs through my veins. This Palestinian blood is the blood of resilient, strong, and steadfast people. These are the Palestinian people. I truly, wallahi, I thank God every day for choosing that I be Palestinian, because it has taught me a lot about who I am and the work that I do. So today I want to do something that we do where I'm from, Brooklyn, New York. In Brooklyn, New York, we do something called real talk. No filter. We don't try to impress you. We tell you the truth. You have the choice to accept the truth. You have the choice to walk away from the truth. Last summer, sisters and brothers, we watched in horror while our fellow sisters and brothers in Gaza were being massacred, dead bodies scattered on the streets. We were outraged. We felt helpless. We went to the streets everywhere from Raleigh to New Orleans to Chicago to Detroit to New York City. Muslims and Arab Americans and our allies in places in St. Louis, everywhere around the country, everywhere around the world, people were in the streets. Your entire Facebook feed, every time you went on it, you saw young people, babies crying for the mothers. It was a very horrific time in Gaza last summer. We questioned where our leaders were. We kept saying the world is blind. Where is humanity? I saw people posting, where is humanity? Where is the world to see what is happening in Gaza? Then what happened, sisters and brothers? A few weeks later, there's a ceasefire. We stop posting. Your Facebook feed goes back to how it was before the massacres in Gaza. We go back to our normal lives, to the privilege that we have, to our healthy, beautiful children, to our jobs. And we wait till 2 more years later when Gaza is under attack again, and we go back to the same cycle every time, sisters and brothers. What I'm saying to you, sisters and brothers, is that our opposition has something we don't have in our community, something that I strive and I work for every single day. It's 2 very simple things: persistency and consistency. We as a community are very easily distracted. Our blood boils in times of crisis. We are reactionary, but as soon as those images are not the first thing we see, all of a sudden it's as if everything is beautiful in Gaza. It's as if there is peace and people have everything that they need. What we need, sisters and brothers, whether we're talking about Gaza or about Palestine in general or about Syria or what's happening right now in Yemen or what's happening in Egypt, is we have to understand that we cannot win freedom and liberty for our people. We will never change the foreign policy of our government if we in this country are not doing 3 things. Number one, in places like Syria, why was there a revolution? Why were we watching Tahrir Square in Egypt? It's because people were risking their lives, sisters and brothers. They were standing up against snipers and tanks for something very simple that you have right here in the United States of America. You have the right to freedom and democracy in the United States of America, while our sisters and brothers every day risk their lives, and we are not using the privileges that we have in this country, which, if used consistently, can change the conditions for our sisters and brothers on the other side of the world. That's number one. Number two, sisters and brothers, it's about justice, right? We say justice in Palestine, justice for Syria. We use this word justice a lot in our community. Our religion, I hear sometimes people on national television say things like, Islam is a religion of peace. All faiths are religions of peace, not just Islam. But what Islam is a religion of justice. Justice, sisters and brothers, is not just us. It's not just justice for Palestinians because you're Palestinian. It's not justice for Syria because you're Syrians. Justice is something for everyone. If you want justice for Palestinians, then you must believe in justice for Syrians, justice for Mexicans, justice for Black people in America, justice for everyone. This is who we are as a community. This is what our faith teaches us to do. So we need to show up for other communities. We need to build solidarity for the causes that we care about right here in this country. Let me tell you what our Palestinian sisters and brothers in Gaza were doing while they were under attack last summer. On August 9, 2014, many of you heard about the killing of a young man in a place called Ferguson, Missouri. A young Black boy. We can debate, sisters and brothers, about what happened when Mike Brown was shot by a police officer in Ferguson. We can say something happened at the store before he interacted with a police officer. Put those details to the side. And I don't really care to debate that. I've debated that probably with many of you in this room. What happened after Mike Brown got shot was, in the United States of America, he was left out in August, in a hot summer, for 4.5 hours, sisters and brothers, swimming in his blood. No family was allowed to come see him. No one called 911. There were no ambulances, no EMTs. And then 4.5 hours later, some officers came, they picked him up off the floor, and they threw him in the back of an SUV like he was a bag of rocks. That happened here in the United States of America. Then protests erupted in Ferguson. Ferguson Police Department started throwing tear gas at protesters. So while we were in our homes in North Carolina, New York City, Los Angeles, New Orleans, Texas, young people in Gaza, just think about this, sisters and brothers. Think about the people that we're talking about in this room today. Palestinians in Gaza, during the summer while they were under attack, were sending messages via social media to people in Ferguson, to young Black people in Ferguson, telling them, here's how you protect yourself from tear gas. If people that are under attack, that barely have internet access, that don't know if they're going to live tomorrow, had it in their hearts to send messages across the world to young people in Ferguson, Missouri, telling them how to protect themselves from tear gas, then what are we doing here in the United States as Arab Americans, Palestinian Americans, Syrian Americans, to build solidarity with other groups right here in the United States? So what did I do? I took an airplane and I went to Ferguson. I wanted to see what this place was. I wanted to see what these protests about. I wanted to bear witness to what was happening. I go to Ferguson. I get there with a few of my Muslim friends. We go to the place where Mike Brown was shot. People started asking me why I was there. I told them I'm here because I'm a mom. I have a son who's 16 years old. And I didn't think what happened was right and I wanted to come. I told them I came because my Palestinian sisters and brothers in Gaza were sending you messages from across the world while they were under attack while I was sitting in my comfortable home in Brooklyn, New York. There was a huge rally in Ferguson, a huge rally. Thousands of people came out. You know what I saw, sisters and brothers in Ferguson? I saw little Black boys running around with Palestinian flags. This is what we need to work towards the United States of America. We need Black people, Latinos, white people, Jews, whoever we can get to build that solidarity to make sure that one day, inshallah, Palestine will be free. Because we have to do the work here in the United States of America. What I'm saying to you today, sisters and brothers, is when we have to wait to see images of dead babies on the street, when we have to see videos of crying mothers for their husbands, for their brothers, for their children, we don't need to ask where humanity is outside. We need to ask ourselves, where is our humanity? When we have to see dead babies and crying mothers in order for us to say we want to help our Palestinian sisters and brothers. When we see freezing Syrian children living in tents in the middle of a snowstorm, we do not need to wait for those images before we help our Syrian sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, if we do not see our own children and the children of Gaza, if we do not see our own children and the children of Syria, if we do not see the faces of hurt and pain as if they were our own brothers and sisters, as if they were our mothers, who will? If we as Palestinians cannot help to build and to keep the people of Gaza's morale high and to believe that one day they will be free, that we can provide opportunities for education, to give them a hot meal to eat, to help them build their schools, their hospitals, then how do we expect other people to care about those that are closest to us? Today, I ask for the Palestinian sisters and brothers that are in this room to be generous, but not generous only for your Palestinian sisters and brothers. I want you to give to the children of Syria. I want you to give to the millions of displaced Syrians who we will never know, sisters and brothers, for years to come if they will ever go back to their home country. For my Syrian sisters and brothers, I want you today to be generous. I want you to give the opportunity for a child in Gaza to go to school or to have a warm home to sleep in. I want you to believe that the liberation of the Palestinian people is connected to the liberation of the Syrian people. It's connected to the liberation of the Yemeni people. It's connected to the liberation of the Egyptian people. Sisters and brothers, we are all connected, and we have to believe that our freedom is interconnected. Today, Islamic Relief, and I know for a fact, sisters and brothers, I will not stand here on the stage to tell you that Islamic Relief is the real deal. Your money, every single dollar that you put tonight, is going directly to the people that need it most. Islamic Relief is telling you tonight you have an opportunity. Number one, your donation is zakat eligible, which is your obligation in Islam. Number two, your donation is tax deductible. Be generous, sisters and brothers. Remember that our sisters and brothers in Syria and in Palestine need us. They are counting on us, sisters and brothers. They are waiting for their American sisters and brothers to support them and give them the same opportunities. Please reflect on what you have, what your children have, and make sure that you give a very small fraction of what you have tonight to make sure that another child doesn't go hungry, that no child has to live outdoors, that when someone needs medical attention, they are able to get it. Thank you very much for all of you who chose to come out here tonight, because being in this room is a choice that you made. And inshallah, very soon, one day, we will meet again in a free Palestine and a free Syria, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.